Welcome to my class Unboxing Biology with Smriti. So, we were studying the chapter Genetics. In the previous video, we discussed about what is genetics, some terms such as genes, genetic variation, and the heredity, types of genetics, mainly the classical genetics, and who was Mendel, what he did for genetics, and who rediscovered Mendel's work. In this video, I will tell you about some terms which you should know before studying genetics. So, the terms you should know. Okay. The first one is alleles. In the previous video, I already told you what are the genes. So, alleles are the form of genes. Okay. Now, this allele can be of two types. First one is the dominant one, second one is the recessive one. So, the second term is dominant. Okay. Dominant here means that the character which expresses itself is known as dominant one. Okay. So, which expresses itself is the dominant itself. This is T. The third term is recessive. It is just opposite of the dominant one, that it do not express itself. Fine. Now, the fourth term is homogeneous. Homogeneous is defined as whenever the gene consists of either the dominant type or the recessive type. Only one should be there. So, if only the dominant one, let us take example of a tall plant, and you can say this is also and a dwarf plant. Okay, this is a dwarf plant. So here the dominant means the capital T is the dominant one. Okay, because here it shows the phenotype tall. If it is recessive means small t, which is dwarf. Okay, so here also in the homogeneous type, it should be either both dominant or both recessive. So if both dominant or both recessive is there, then it is known as or termed as the homogeneous. Now, the fifth one. So, the fifth one is heterogeneous. Heterogeneous. Okay. So, the heterogeneous is defined when the gene consists both dominant and the recessive type okay, so it should contain the capital T also, the dominant one, and the small t also. Then this is the heterogeneous. Okay, this is heterogeneous. Now, the sixth term is phenotype. Okay, The phenotype is defined as the physical appearance of an organism. Physical appearance of any organism is defined as the phenotype. So let us take example of a tall tree, or say we are taking the genotype, the alleles as the capital T, capital T. This is tall. This is showing the characteristic of a tall plant. So here we are telling it as a tall plant. So this tall is the phenotypic of this gene. Okay, if it is capital T small t, again it is tall. So this tall is again the phenotypic nature of the same. And if it is a small t and a small t, then it is showing here the dwarf physical appearance. So its phenotypic nature is dwarf. Fine. Now the sixth one is, okay, now here the sixth one is genotype. So, the genotype is defined as the genetic makeup of any organism. Genetic makeup of any organism. Okay. Now, this genetic makeup can be said like, take example the capital T, capital T. So here both the allele of a gene is dominant in nature, so this is homogeneous. Okay. Now if it is a capital T and small t, it is heterogeneous. So here the homogeneous and the heterogeneous are the genotypic type of the given organism. Okay, these are the genotype. Fine. Now at last the seventh term is the character or trait of an organism. How you define a character or a trait of an organism? So it is defined as the any characteristics, any characteristics which are shown by any organism, which are shown by an organism is defined as its character or its trait. Fine. So in the next video, we will discuss about the Mendel's experiment, why he took that organism for its experiment, and what are the characters which are which Mendel took. Thank you so much.